Hi, everybody. December 16th, the market update desk with Scott Riley, NMLS number 157524. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend, getting close to wrapping up your Christmas shopping as we're getting down to the last few days before Christmas. It's amazing how fast December has gone. Wanted to go through the jobs data that came out today. So, the BLS released their reports for both October and November. Um, it's delayed because we had the government shutdown. Showed that in October, there were, now it's a big number, minus 105,000 job losses, not gains, but losses, much weaker than the market had expected. And that was heavily influenced by the earlier in the year government layoffs that now have hit the jobs numbers. The November report showed a little stronger than expected, actually, at a 64,000 job creation. The market was expecting 45,000. Now, in addition, there were negative revisions to the previous 2 months. August was revised lower from positive 22,000 to a negative 26,000 job loss. And September was revised from plus 119 to plus 108. Again, the big reason for these large variations and adjustments is due to the birth death model. And what we're seeing in October, the birth death model supposedly added 413,000 jobs. Now, realistically, that can't even be close to being right. It doesn't match up with many other data points from ADP and Relevo Labs that showed weakness in the small business sector. So that number just doesn't compute anywhere of reality. Now, without it, we'd be looking at over 500,000 job losses. Now, we'll see. This is going to get worked out. It's going to filter through for when we get the next QCEW, and then we're going to see some better real numbers. Now, leading government led the way with shedding 157,000 jobs in October and another 6,000 in November. Healthcare continues to be the bulwark, pretty much the only sector that's performing well. Added 44,000 in October, 46,000 in November. But remember, this sector really isn't economically sensitive. Got to have nurses and doctors and healthcare workers. Now, without the healthcare sector, job growth for the entire year would essentially be zero or flat. So that's how important that sector has been to the market. Now, there are two surveys within the jobs report, the business survey and the household survey. The business survey is where the headline job creation numbers come from. That's just what we went through. And the household survey is where the unemployment data comes from. There was no household survey for October report, only for November due to the shutdown. Now, that showed us that unemployment rose from 4.4 to 4.6%. In fact, the exact number is 4.56, so it did get the uptick from the rounding. Now, since July, the unemployment rate has gone straight up each month from 4.1 to 4.6%. Many of the Fed members, the hawks specifically, have been disregarding or playing down the slow or negative job creation figures because they had believed that supply of labor is falling at the same time because of my immigration, and the less jobs are needed to keep the unemployment rate stable. It would be hard to make that argument based on these reports that we're seeing right now. In fact, all in U6 unemployment rose a staggering 7/10 from 8% to 8.7%. In fact, it's the highest jump, highest level, I should say, since March of 27 when you strip out COVID. When we look deeper into the woods, the numbers shows us there were 983,000, just shy of 1 million full-time job losses in the market, with 1,025,000 part-time job creations. So we're seeing that mix that we had seen previously, people cobbling together maybe multiple full-time jobs to compensate for not having a full-time job. One thing that is helping inflation, specifically wage pressure, average hourly earnings rose only 1/10 in November and has fallen from 3.8 to 3.5% year over year. The report was very weak, and it should help the bond market as it digests this information throughout the day and possibly through the week. Other numbers we got were retail sales. October was flat. That's weaker than the estimate of a plus 1/10. Now, one of the things affecting this is that right after the October report, the EV tax credit expired at the end of September. Automobile sales have a large impact on the total retail sales number. Now, when we strip out the autos from retail sales, we actually rose 4/10. Looking at core retail sales, which strips out the food, auto, gas, building materials, which are very volatile, it showed that the index actually rose 0.8% for core retail sales, much stronger than expected, and basically showing consumers still spending money. So that's where we have to get into the the real detail aspect of these reports. Now, within the building industry, we saw the National Association of Home Buyers, Home Builders Housing Market Index, which shows builder confidence rose 1/10 to 39, which is still in contraction territory. But hey, up is up. Anywhere we get up is a positive thing. Looking for the subcomponents, current sales rose 1 point to 42. Future sales expectations rose 1 point to 52, which is an expansion. And buyer traffic remained at 26, still at low levels. Mortgage rates are still affecting this, obviously. 10-year bounced off 4.21. We're sitting about 4.17 right now, 4.15 actually as we speak. So maybe we can get some momentum. Maybe the market can digest this jobs data and give us some help in mortgage-backed securities and the treasury market. Give us a call. We'll help explain it, help get you pre-approved, show you what the best programs and opportunities are. Scott Riley, the Market Update Desk, your original singular market news source for West Michigan, 616-293-2189.